Hello class, today we're going to do day 2 of section 7.7, which is talking about multiplying a polynomial with a polynomial. By the end of the lesson, you'll be able to multiply binomials with trinomials and trinomials with trinomials. So we're going to start with the binomial and the trinomial. Yesterday we talked about FOIL, which was a quick acronym to help us to remember how to multiply. There is no acronym for this, but there is a trick that can help us. So there's 2 terms in our first expression and 3 in our second expression. We want to make sure that each of those get multiplied. So what I'm going to do is just make myself a nice rectangle with 2 columns, 1 for each of the terms, and 3 rows, 1 for each of the terms. So our first term is 6x plus 5. And our second one is 2x squared, negative 3x, and negative 5. So we've got our 2 different expressions. Now, inside of the boxes, that's where we're going to do our multiplication. So this first box right here is 6x times 2x squared, which is going to give me 12x cubed. My next one is going to be 5 times 2x squared, which is going to give me 10x squared. Then I've got 6x times negative 3x, which is negative 18x squared. Then I've got 5 times negative 3x, which is negative 15x. Then I've got 6 times negative 5, which is negative 30x. And 5 times negative 5, which is negative 25. So now I've made sure that I've multiplied each term in the first part with the second, and the second term with each of these second expressions. So now I want to check for like terms to figure out my final answer. There's nothing to combine 12x cubed with, so we're going to start with that. Then I've got 10x squareds and negative 18x squareds, so that's going to give me negative 8x squared. Then I've got negative 15 and negative 30, so that's going to give me negative 45x, and then the negative 25 stays by itself. So when I multiply it out, that is my final answer. Go ahead and try this one on your own. So we lined up our binomial from the first part and our trinomial from the second expression, multiplied each of those to get our final answer of 12x cubed minus 15x squared minus 69x plus 18. Similar thing is going to work when we have our trinomial by trinomial multiplication, but this time instead of just a 2 by 3, we're going to need a 3 by 3 rectangle so that we can have all of our pieces lining up. So our first expression gives me 2y squared, 3y, and negative 1. And my second expression gives me 3y squared, negative 5y, and 2. And when I multiply those out, I'm going to get 6y to the 4th, 9y cubed, negative 3y squared, negative 10y cubed, negative 15y, negative 15y squared. Then I've got negative 1 times negative 5, which is positive 5y, 4y squared, 6y, and negative 2. So now I need to do the final step of going through to find like terms. That should have been 6y to the 4th. So I've got 6y to the 4th. And then I've got 9y and negative 10y's. So I've got negative 1y cubed. Then I've got negative 3y squared, negative 15y squared, and 4y squared. Negative 3 and negative 15 is negative 18, plus 4 gets me back up to negative 14y squared. 5y and 6y gives me a total of 11y. And then the negative 2 is just by itself. So it's the same process, we just have one more column so that it's a trinomial by a trinomial. Go ahead and try this one on your own. We get a final answer of 6y to the fourth plus 28y cubed minus 61y squared plus y plus 24. If you have questions about this or anything else from the lesson, please let me know when you get to class.